Bum bum ba bum 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 ba 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 bum 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 ba bum 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 ba ba dum bum bum ba ba bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum ba 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 bum 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 ba ba bum ba 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 da ba. Down with Ulfric, the killer of kings. On the day of your death we will drink and we'll sing. A 1, 2, 3, we're the children of Skyrim, and we fight all our lives. And when Sovngarde beckons, every one of our hearts dies. Dum. Was that convincing? Did you think you were in the game? I thought I was in the game. Hooray, hooray, I have a sub today. Hooray, hooray, I have a sub today. It's Valen85. Subscribe with Twitch Prime. Subscribe with Twitch Prime. Valen85, subscribe with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much. Valen, it's Valen85. Valen, it's Valen85. Valen, it's Valen, it's Valen, it's Valen, and bum bum bum. Thank you. Hello, it's me. I'm here. Yes, sorry for the brief rustle radio while I was setting up. Thought I'd provide some form of entertainment while I was getting it all going. Had various things to do, all very busy. But yes, here we go. We've got the stream manager running now, which is good, so I can actually read what you're saying. And we've got Facebook all set up, and I've got my Discord thing, and I've got my stream Twitch thing to make sure that I've not disconnected. I've got all the things now, which is vital. So, except my hair's got a stupid tuft on it. There we go. Sort that out. Really need a haircut. If COVID could sort of go away, so I could have one, that'd be great. Hello, everyone. Welcome, many people. Thank you again so much for the sub, Valen. Welcome, Frizzy Dragon, to the stream. Wonderful to have you here. Thank you for showing up. Most exciting. And we also have the usual suspects. We've got May, we've got Ninja, we've got Voslarum Zero, we've got Ladybug's Art. Hello, Ladybug's Art. We've got Zooey. Hello, Zooey. And we've got Valk. Hello, Valk. Welcome, one and all. So you may notice, those of you who are subscribers, who weren't in the Discord or haven't been keeping up with the Discord lately, there is now a little Lucien picture next to your name. You now have a badge. We've added badges for subscriber loyalty badges. So if you subscribe to the channel, you get a little Lucien face next to your name, and then every month that you stay subscribed, or when you hit various milestones, so 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months, Lucien will get a different hat. He has an array of different hats, which he will wear when you reach those milestones, and I can't wait to start seeing them show up in chat because they are adorable. They are designed by Shiva, Mama Bear Shiva / XX Dark Shiva XX, who did an amazing job making those. So I'm so pleased that they're a thing, and they're really cute. And if you reach 12 months, Lucien will wear a flower crown, and it's the most adorable thing. So yeah. I'll just do a ping for the people on the old Discord to let people know what's going on. Live streams. Well, it's wonderful to have you at every stream. Really lovely having the regulars coming back time and time again, you know, because it's like I get to see and talk to my friends, which is very lovely. So, at stream notify. Even Twitch for the weekly stream live creation kit modding workshop. Come say hi. And then we gotta copy and paste the link. Ta-da! That's gone out to all those folks. Hello! Oh, what? Hang on. Wait, an anonymous gifter gave Ninja Cheddar Biscuits a sub. Whoever did that, thank you so much. You are immensely kind. Thank you so much for the sub. I didn't know you could gift share emotes, but that's exciting. So cool. Whoever gifted those emotes, I don't know what that even does. Does that mean other people get to use emotes? That's awesome. Hooray. Oh, thank you so much, Vickle. I'm so pleased you enjoyed it. Thank you. That's really lovely. Wonderful to have you here on the stream. Yeah, thank you so much for buying Lonely Worlds, and I'm really glad you liked it. If I can be super cheeky, and I apologise if this is too cheeky, but is there any possibility you consider doing a quick review on Amazon for me? Just like one sentence would be fantastic, or two sentences, anything, just any amount, just something, just to say that you thought it wasn't terrible. Would be really wonderful if you could possibly see a way to doing that. Thank you. It's just difficult to get exposure on Amazon when you're when you're up and coming as a new writer. So any reviews you can get really make a massive difference. So thank you so much. I'm so pleased you liked it. I'll just ping the Facebook folks as well, just to let them know. Wizard Lucien, yes, Ninja has Lucien wearing a wizard hat, which is adorable. I think that's the 3-month reward with the wizard hat. Anyway, so how are you all? Valk, you should get a Lucien badge. I don't know why you wouldn't get a Lucien badge, Valk. Oh, you have a Founder's badge? Maybe the Founder's badge means you don't get the Lucien... I'm confused. I don't know, Valk, honestly. I don't know how that works. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll chat to you in the on the Discord after the stream, and we'll figure out that. I'm sure there will be a way we can make Lucien hat show up for you. I hope you're not just stuck with the first badge because you were a founder. I hope there's a way we can make the Lucien face show up for you, because I think that's much nicer than a 1. Hello, frogs. How are your frogs today? Playing Skyrim is a wonderful thing to be doing. 60 million bees, I highly recommend. Just bought some new bits for your computer. That's very exciting, frogs. What bits did you get? I'm doing very well, thank you, Ninja Cheddar Biscuits. All the better to be streaming. Greetings, Nuna! Welcome! Welcome. Very exciting to have Nuna here. Yeah, Nuna's got the same thing. Nuna's got that Founder's badge and the mod badge, but not the Lucien face. Why? We'll have to figure it out. Have to see what we can do. Right. Dib-dub-dum, dib-dob-dob. Cool. I reckon we're good to start. Yeah, there's 28 people watching, which is wonderful. Hello, welcome all. Oh, what, you think you're only... Yeah, but Valk only has 2 badges, so... Oh, Ninja, oh, you've unleashed that now. Ooh, Detective Lucien, ooh, Detective Lucien, ooh, Detective Lucien, he's on the case. Ooh, Detective Lucien, ooh, Detective Lucien, ooh, Detective Lucien's got a handsome face. Ooh, RTX 2070 Super, excellent choice. I don't know anything about Ryzen processors though, but it sounds cool, and it's got lots of numbers, and it's got an X in it. An X in the name of anything technological makes it better, don't you know? That is one of the well-known facts of technology. If there's an X there, it means it goes speed. Hello, Samantha. Welcome to the stream. Just setting all of this up. Ooh, Detective Lucien's got a handsome face. Right. What am I going to say? It go new, more X, more new. This is very true. Trust me, I'm an engineer. And I know about these things. Hello, Checkmorticia. Welcome. Welcome. Another little Lucien face there. I like how much he's in the chat. Right, so close that down. Open that up. Sorry for the delay today. I was just setting up my, I've been revamping my Patreon. I've been adding new tiers and adding new rewards to the existing tiers. To try and give more sort of thank you back to those of you who are kind enough to make a pledge. So thank you so much for doing that, you guys. But yes, I've been adding new stuff to it, which has been very exciting. And I was doing that, and then I sort of lost track of time, and then I was doing things, and then it was now. But I have been doing that. Sorry, that confused things. Right, so just close that down as well. Right, that's the stream profile, and I'll close Microsoft Teams. Yes, there is no Grey just now, but my hope is that she will turn up a little bit later. She was here just now, and then she wanted to go out, so I had to let her go. But she will. Oh, if you're trying to redeem the Grey points thing. Oh, you can put the points down. You can put the point. I'll just enable the thing. I'll enable the redemption for treats for Grey, but you can put the points down on the understanding that I'll give her said treat when she comes back in. Okay? There, I've just enabled it now. Thanks, Cheddar. She'll like that. That will make her a very happy little pussycat. Oh, 2 treats for her. Very exciting. Right, I'm going to switch across to 3 chapters, Nuna. That's a very productive day. Yeah, no, sorry, I had it disabled. I disable some of the reward requests sometimes when they're not correct or not appropriate at the time. Hence, most of them are disabled today because I want posture, because I want to do actual modding and making of stuff, and it always slows things down a little bit when I'm trying to mod, and then I keep getting song requests and things, as fun as it is to sing. Yeah. Right, just setting the resolution. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bam. So last time I was chatting to a lot of you was Lucien the Dragonborn on Tuesday, which was pretty fun. I was excited to be able to share that with you. And we're coming up to the Season 1 finale next Tuesday. So it's always fun seeing how your theories and things develop. Where are we going? I'm definitely going to be adding some stuff to do with that in the future, which I can't wait to show you guys. More sort of Lucien the Dragonborn-y content. Oh, Valk, you've not seen it yet. What have you been doing with your life? You can watch that after the stream. Don't worry, no spoilers. We'll have no spoilers here. Right, so switch to the screen with camera. Boop, I'm small. Small in the bottom right. We'll close that. Now, we need to summon our friend. Oh, hang on. Big again. As ever, my guest star for the stream, which is Tiny Lucien. He is here. I conjure him. And I'll just pop us back onto the stream camera so you can say hi. Screen with camera. Here he is. He says hello. Wave for us, Tiny Lucien. He's not waving, but he's there, and he's sweet. F for Valk. The tiny lad is here. He is here. He's very sweet. He's one of my favourite things that's happened in the last 6 months, I think. Right. Okay, so today we are working on... Oh, he fell over. Oh, mate, back on your feet. Back on your feet. Don't fall over. You can't have that. Right, so working on a new Creation Club patch. Today we are going to be doing camping, because we had a little vote for that. Ooh, back. I need to sit up straight here. Get in with those posture checks, guys, if you see me slouching, because I need to not be slouching. He is cute, isn't he? He's so small. Look, if I put the microphone up, that'll make me... If I pop that up a bit, that'll make me sit up more straight. Now, today we're doing camping. So, camp. That's not it. Oh, because it's called firewood in the file name, but it's not firewood, it's camping. Right. Lucien.esp. There we go, load that up. Dave Big. Now Dave is the best little duck. If you're not in the Discord, you won't know who Dave is, but Dave is adorable and we love Dave. Right, so I'm going to do my usual hacky thing. Copy as override to create a new ESP. Now, guys, of course, this is our workshop stream, as ever. This is the Lucien Flavius Creation Kit workshop stream. So if you guys have any questions about mods, about modding, writing, Lucien, anything really, feel free to chime in the chat and ask, and I will explain anything you want me to explain. I'm very happy to walk you through whatever you want to do, so do just let me know. Otherwise, we'll crack on with working on this patch. But this is a sort of workshop thing, so it's a sort of two-way street. And let me know what you want to do, and we'll always pivot over to that whenever you like. So keep me posted. Right, now we delete that, and we've got that added as a master file, which is ideal. So now I can add the Lucien.esp as a master for the patch as well. So we've got Lucien, firewood, there we go, that's all there. So we're good to get started. So I'll just save that. Close that down. Open up the old creation kit. Of course, using Newchem's CK fixes, creation kit fixes, because they make everything better. Created by Joseph Russell. That's me. That's who I am. That's my name. And we are Lucien Camping Patch version, and we are up to 1.5.0 C now, I believe. Guinea pigs as well! That's very sweet. Tiny Lucien's currently hiding behind the camera, but you may see him just now emerging to climb up the side of the screen. So while that's loading up, let's open up our old friend UESP to find what we know about the camping Creation Club thing. Skyrim camping, here we are. Camping is a creation that adds a movable campsite for sleeping and cooking in the wilderness. It was released on April the 5th, 2018 for 300cc credits. The creation's features work well with survival mode. So it's a cute little campsite, basically. It's like this. It's just got a lean-to and a seat and a campfire. But what I'm doing with this is I have been fiddling with this file in the creation kit. And I've figured out how it works. We can comment on it. Volsolarum says, what happened to Make Your Own Follower mod series? That is still running. I can't commit to doing that every week, I'm afraid, because I've been doing Lucien the Dragonborn, you know, and I only have so much time per week to make videos. So the follower mod series, tutorial series, is still happening, but it'll come sort of on an irregular basis. It might be a couple of weeks between each episode. I will just get the parts up as and when I can. It's absolutely still happening. We'll have a new part coming soon. But yeah, I only have so many hours in the day, and I am a full-time student, not a full-time modder. I do all this stuff in my spare time. So I can only do as much as I can do, really, because I've got to pay the bills. So I've got to work actual proper stuff as well. But yeah, it will be coming. So have no fear. So here we are. So this literally adds the item camping supplies, and it adds the concept of a camp, so we can check for distance with that camp in order to make commentary, which is what we're going to do. So we're going to create a new quest, which we're going to call Hello Enderscram, welcome to the stream. It has been a long time. Wonderful to have you here. I'm doing really well, thank you. How about you? The song I'm mumbling is so familiar. It's someone's diner. Oh, hang on. We've got a bot in the chat. Let me just ban them. There we go. That's them gone. Apologies for that. Yes, it's someone's diner. Can't remember whose diner it is, but it's someone's diner. Was sitting under Minecraft, an excellent thing to be addicted to. Right, so quest stages. We probably won't need any quest stages for this, but we'll see. Tom's Diner. That's it. That's the one. It's Tom's Diner. Thank you guys for letting me know. That's what I'm humming. Yeah, sent to Botblivion, or just banned from the channel, and I'm sure they'll come back on someone else's channel in the future because that's what they do. But they're always like, want to become famous, sign up for this follow for follow scheme or whatever, and it's just not how you become famous. I mean, I don't know how you become famous, but you don't do it by signing up for follow schemes, I can tell you that. That is not the way. There is no way you can buy success on streaming. That ain't a thing. Right, so now what I'm going to do here... Oh, why have I called it JR Lucien Camping Patch? I'm not concentrating, am I? Let's rename that. JR Lucien CC Camping. And I'm actually going to call this JR Lucien CC Camping... camp. I know that's slightly counterintuitive to call it camping camp, but I'm going to call it camping camp because we're actually going to have 2 quests for this patch, because I want to separate out the dialogue. Because what you can do here is you can set quest dialogue conditions that apply to all the dialogue contained in the quest, and a lot of the dialogue that we're going to have here is dialogue that's only going to play when you're near a campsite, which is quite a complicated condition stack to check whether you're near a campsite, because I've got to check at least 4 things, but it's quite a complicated Boolean conditional operator thing I've got to do, and I don't want to have to do that for every individual line, so I thought I'd put all the lines that are to do with Oh yeah, Valk, you changed your username. You're no longer Silvery Shadow. It is confusing. But yeah, all the dialogue lines that are for when you're near your camp to be in this quest, and all the dialogue lines that are to do with something else, like when he wants to make camp, will be in another quest. And I think that'll be a good way of organising it. Right, so to do this, we're going to open up SSE Edit again. I shouldn't really have closed it, because we're going to need it. We're going to need to check some things. So we want the firewood file. There it is. Really need to do what yourself, Enderscram? Are you working on a mod? What sort of voice acting do you do? So, cell. I think it's in cell. No, it's not. It's in world space. We need to find it. We need to find the campfire marker. And what I found is while the campsite is a new one is created everywhere you go. New tents get placed everywhere you go and everything. So there's not one reference you can check for that. But what does move around is the map marker. So when you create a campsite, it makes a map marker, and that is the same map marker that just moves to different places. So I can actually check Lucien's distance to these two references. There's one for Skyrim and one for Solstheim. And I can check whether you're close to either one of those. And if you are, I can make him say the right lines. So this is the trick I'm going to do. Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. So we're going to do... Ooh, Voslarum has a very important question for me. What's your very important question, Voslarum? Right, so we're going to do get distance. We're going to do target ref ID. Now, we need to find this specific ref, which might be challenging, but I can always do this afterwards with SSE edit. Oh, you're making a follower mod, are you? That's cool. Oh, bad luck that the original ESP got corrupted. Don't know how that would have happened. Maybe you can salvage some of it in SSE edit? Maybe you can copy and paste it into a new file? Right, so I want to copy this ID. But I can't paste it in the creation kit. This is something probably to do with SSE edit, but let's see if I can find it. It's just in the general world space of Skyrim, which is going to be a problem. What would I do as the final quest on a playthrough? Ooh, I don't think I've never really finished a playthrough, you know. I've always started something else, always sort of aborted at a random point because I want to start a new one. I've never sort of tried to finish off the old one. This is called CCQD. So if I go CCQD, is that gonna camping utility cell? No, that's not what we want. That's something else. No, none of these are what we want. The cell is just Tamriel, which isn't a thing. Okay, I'm going to hack this then. I'm going to just give it a random object. Let's go with Swindler's Den, Alakir Orange Flicker. Let's give it that. And then we're going to do another condition there, which is another get distance. And we're also going to want a get enabled, or is enabled. Get is enabled. What's the line? What is it? Is it is enabled? Is it is enabled? No. I'll have to look on the internet. But you'd think this would be one to easily check. Get enabled creation kit. But yeah, what quest would I do? What quest is enabled, apparently? I don't know why that didn't come up then. I would probably end... I'd probably end with Dragonborn. You know, the Dragonborn quest line, to end with defeating Marak. I think that's the... because it sort of takes place after the main quest, so it's a good epilogue. See, it does say, isn't it? Well, Tiny Lucian's grabbed me. Off you go. It works quite well as an epilogue, I think. So I'd probably go with that. Is disabled. Is that what it's going to be? Nope. Get disabled. That's our line. Get disabled. Right. So we're going to have two get disabled conditions, which are going to be on a particular reference. Oh, no, hang on. Yeah, that's what we want. And the reference is going to be something arbitrary like this. That. Fine. And we're going to duplicate that. So we've now got two references, two get disabled. Lucien... Oh, what did he do there? Oh, he's grabbing onto that. You can hold that if you want. So we're going to have 2 get disabled and 2 get distances. So now, in order to fill these with this particular reference, that I can't fill with in the creation kit because it's not in a cell, it's just in the world space, which means you can't find it. So I'm going to do that instead. I'm going to do it in SSE edit, which is a bit hacky, but it's the only way I can think to get it right, to get it working. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy my voice acting. I try. Right, so we can now open up a new instance of SSE edit. Hacker man, he's the greatest hacker in the world. Danger hacker. Hacker man. Right, Lucien camping patch. So we open this now. We can do a very sneaky trick. Quest. Here we are. So now we can open up firewood. If you could just pop out of the way, please, Tiny Lucien, and go over there. And we're going to go world space. Tamriel. There's our first one. This is for the Tamriel marker. And we can do change form IDs, get the form ID there, and we can copy and paste that. And then we can go into quest. We can find this condition. And we can type in, force it with the reference ID that we want. Oops. There we go, and it's done it. So that one's set up now, and we need a get distance condition for it as well. And then we need the Solstheim markers. Which is this one here. And this one here. And we're all set to go, so now I can mess around with these conditions as I need to. And then copy and paste them. But we've got the error because of the invalid object ID, which makes sense. So I've got to renumber them. Quickly renumber the form IDs from 800. Yep, do it. Great. Now there's a dirty edit that's appeared because we used Swindler's Den for the dummy thing. So we've already got a dirty edit appeared. So I'm just going to delete that while I can see it. Gone. Don't want to change that. And there's also the Black Reach world space edit, which we didn't want either. Another dirty edit, so we're just going to delete that. There we go. And now we've just got what we want. Nice and clean. And now we've renumbered the form IDs. We're fine to save. So I can go ahead and reopen this in the creation kit. I hope that makes sense. I don't know whether I was just waffling to myself or whether that was useful for any of you. But there's often these sort of weird, hacky side ways of doing it. Oh, Vickle, you converted from a Twitch Prime sub to a Tier 1 sub. Thank you. I don't know whether that makes any difference to me, actually, but I don't know why it's notifying me of it, but awesome that you've subbed. So thank you so much. I'm a rebel just for kicks, yeah. So let's find it. Where's the file? There it is, down at the bottom. Good. We need to clean some of those masters up, but anyway. Whee! 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 Oh, he's landed up there. Hours of fun. And you've got the little face next to your name, which is very cute. And the sweet roll emoji. Oh, here he comes. I save you. Right, now we're going to want to do show only active forms. Ooh, Malfoy. Is Malfoy as in Malfoy from Harry Potter, or like is just someone who shares the same name? He does, he's dreaming of sweet rolls. Right, so let's set up this condition stack. How long do you normally stream for? I could see myself watching a lot of you while I mod. I normally stream for 3 hours, so I tend to go from 5 till 8 every Thursday. And I also stream at other times throughout the week, but that's more variable. But Thursday is my regular modding slot. So yeah, 5 till 8. So it's now, in UK time, 5:53. Malfoy Meddler, he sounds fun. Right, so what we need to do is we need to say if our Tamriel marker is enabled and not that one, and the distance between us and the Tamriel marker is less than... Oh, we'll probably have to tweak this, but for now, let's go with 1500. The distance is... and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling mouth eyes. Yeah, so if we do that and that, that would cover us for Tamriel. But we also need to do that and that, or that and that. And the way condition stacks work is they just go down from top to bottom. So we need to rework that logic. There's logic there that we need to sort out. So let's open up Microsoft Word and type this out, because it's the only way I can think to do this. So we're going to go... I love having mods interact with each other, so if I've inspired you to do that, I'm so pleased, because it's one of my favourite features to see in mods is when they talk to each other. So what we need is we have 4 different conditions, and what we need to achieve is we need A and B, or B and or C and D. This is what we need to achieve, and we need to implement that in Skyrim Creation Kit's reverse logic. Because standard logic says A and, say you treat all the ands first, you put them in brackets, ands should happen together, and then or, and then ands. This is standard programming logic for conditions. But Creation Kit, by doing it like this, by just progressing vertically downwards, reverses that logic. It puts all the ors in brackets instead. So the Creation Kit equivalent of this, if I typed A and B or C and D into the Creation Kit, it would treat it as A and B or C and D, which isn't what we want. That's going to be a problem. So we don't want that, so I'm going to strike through it. What we want to do is rewrite this in a way that the Creation Kit will handle. So I'm going to replace those with multiplies and those with pluses. Ands become multiplies, ors become pluses. Now, this is our standard mathematical logic. And I now want to convert that into Creation Kit logic. So the trick to doing that is to switch them out. Switch the stars with pluses, the pluses with stars. So we've now got the product of 2 additions. So to do this, and I appreciate I might have totally lost some of you here, so I will re-explain this, like, again in the future, if necessary. What's Broduel? Oh, Broduel followed me! Hey! Hello, Broduel! That's awfully kind of you to follow me. Hi, welcome to the stream. I don't know if you're actually watching or whether you've just clicked follow or whatever, but it's very exciting to have you here. Obviously, big fan, so hi, welcome! Just explaining an esoteric bit of maths. That probably is of interest to exactly no one. But here we go. Oh, thanks very much for the bits, May. Thank you. That's really kind of you. So to multiply this out, we're going to go with, this is A times C. We're going to do FOIL here. First out as in as last, if you remember that from maths. From your GCSE maths or whatever. So we've got A times C plus B times C plus A times D plus B times D. And if we now convert that back into Skyrim logic, if I've got this right, or convert this back into real logic, I mean. So we convert all our stars back into pluses and all our pluses back into stars. Yeah, it is a bit advanced, this. So I'm sorry that this probably doesn't make any sense. I can explain it more if you want to know more about it, or if you don't care, I can just plow on. I really need to devote a whole YouTube video to talking about this whole concept. But this now means that what I need to type into my condition stack in order to achieve this is A or C, and B or C, and A or D, and B or D. This is the trick. That's now, if I've done this right, that's what I need to type into my creation kit condition stack. So if this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and I want to say if either these two things are happening or these two things are happening. So either the marker is enabled and you're close to it in Tamriel, or the marker in Solstheim is enabled and you're close to it in Solstheim. So I want to do these two things or these two things. And in order to affect that, I've run it through what I'm going to call a logical reversal. I don't know what I'd really call this, but I've done inverse logic on this in order to work out what I need to put this as in order to achieve what I want there, that or that and that or that and that. So if let's test this now. So we want to say A and B, or C and D. So what happens if I feed into this A and B being true? If A is true, then this goes to 1. A is true and B is true, right? So this goes to 1, which is good. This one goes to 1, which is good. This one goes to 1, which is good. And this one goes to 1, which is good. So that works. What about if we want C and D being true now? So that's this condition and this condition. If we go C, that one's true. That one's true. D, so that one's true. And D, so that one's true. So that satisfies that condition. So now we know it'll return 1 when we want it to. Now we want to test some other combinations when it returns 0. So let's say we've got A and C are true, but not B or D. A and C means this one's true, this one's true, this one's true, but this one isn't. B or D is not true. So that will fail. That will cause it to fail, which is good. And what about if we go A and D? That one's true, but B or C here, that's not true. So that condition will fail. See, and sorry that I've just blinded you with maths now. I hope you enjoyed the stream for how long you were here. Yeah, I am spitting straight maths, Zui, that's true. Yeah, check. Sorry, yeah, you said what did you miss, check Morticia. So you've missed me doing maths in order to work out what I need to put into this condition stack in order to get these two conditions or these two conditions, because you can't just do that with normal creation kit logic. So I've done an inverse logical operation in order to work out what I need. So now if I type this in, trying to move these so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Right, so we've got A, B, C, and D. So we need A and then C. And then we need... Oh, this is going to be complicated. It's going to be really complicated to remember which one's which. Yep, sorry guys, I've done the maths now. I just need to actually implement this. So A or C, that's this condition. We'll make that an OR. A or C, and B or C. So B needs to go to OR, A or C and B, and then we need to duplicate this, or C, and A or D, that's this one here, and B, which one was B? This one was B, wasn't it? A, C, that's what we got. B or D, and D was this one here. So with a bit of luck, this condition stack should do the job. Oh, and of course, these need to be get disabled equals 0, not get disabled equals 1. And these distance checks need to be less than 1500. I think I might have gone wrong here. We should have 4 ors. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we should have 4 ands. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 ands. And they should be 4 get distance and 4 get disabled, which I think might have gone wrong. Get disabled, 2, 3, 4. Right, I've done this wrong. I've got a get disabled where I should have a get distance. So I need to change this. Yeah, sorry, I know I've been very confusing with the math stuff. But it's nearly done. And I'll do a whole video explaining properly the logic of what I'm doing here. But, right. I just need to check what I'm doing. So we want to say if 831, that's the Tamriel marker, is enabled and the distance to the Tamriel marker is less than 1500. So let's try that. Tamriel marker is enabled, or wilderness marker is enabled. That's true, so that's 1. Distance to Tamriel marker is less than 1500, correct? And we're not fussed about the enabled now. Get disabled equals make sure the Tamriel marker is enabled, so that one's true. So we don't care about that one. And get the distance to the Tamriel marker is less than 1500, so that's true. So that satisfies it. Now we want the Solstheim ones. So the distance, the Solstheim marker, well, the Solstheim marker has to be enabled, which is true. The here we are, Solstheim marker is enabled again, so that's true. Tamriel marker is enabled, we don't care. So this should be distance to Solstheim marker enabled, yeah, is less than 1500, so that's true. And then Tamriel marker distance is that. Ah, this is false. So this is what we've messed up here. And that should be B or D. Here we go. This is wrong. So D should be the get distance for the Solstheim marker. Which is this. There we go. And we're all set now. So A is get disabled Tamriel. B is get disabled Solstheim. C is get distance Tamriel. A should be get disabled wilderness Tamriel. Oh, I confused myself again. Sorry. I know it's confusing. It's confusing me too. And I can't see because there's blooming... There we go. Right. Right. A or C and B or C. Tiny Lucien, just hop off there for a sec. No, I've lost it again. Right. A or C and B or C and A or D and B or D. Yeah, that should work. We're all set. See, this is why I want to do... Hello, Ghosty. Welcome to the stream. You've missed some really exciting stuff. So anyway, we've finished the maths. We've done the maths. We now have a condition stack which means this will all be true. This will be true and satisfied if Lucien is close to an enabled campfire map marker, either in Solstheim or in Tamriel. Boom. Done. Inverse logic. Maths. Ich mach nicht. So now we can go and actually do the dialogue. Conditions we also want to add to this stack. We want to add a new condition here for get his ID to make sure it's Lucien saying the lines. Grapplement redeemed hydrate. Shiva's here. Nuna redeemed posture check. Thank you. That's okay, Ghosty. Thank you for dropping in. Lovely to say hi to you. Hope you're doing well. How are you doing? Is everything all right? Life treating you well, I hope? Greetings, Shiva. Welcome to the stream. Always welcome to slide in. Right, get his ID, JR Lucien. And we're also going to have the is sneaking check because I'm not planning on adding any sneaking lines for this. Because it doesn't make sense for him to have special lines for sneaking around your own campfire. So there we go. Get his ID, is sneaking. Check all of these things. We're all set. Save, for the love of the divines. Save, so I don't have to do that again. You do have an iron helmet, Lucien Shiva. It's because you've been subscribed for 2 months. Oh, I'm sorry, Ghosty. It's awful when a cat's unwell. I really hope she gets better soon. Sorry to hear that. Sending Lucien blessings and wishes. Right, so we've got through the first hour of the stream and I've still not recorded any dialogue. So we're going to start with an idle line about being near a campfire. Oh, May popped to Lucien art in the Discord. We've got to check that out. Let's have a look. Oh, who's this? It's an amazing drawing. I don't know who this is, but they look like they're having a very interesting conversation. Lucien and Hanuman from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Well, I've not played Fire Emblem, so I don't know who this person is, but they look like they're getting on really well. So that's lovely. How fascinating. That would be marvellous. Great work again, May. Hugely impressed. Right. Let's crack on. So, oh, this is an idol. Actually, the first line I've thought of is a hello, so let's add a hello. Lucien camping pack. Camping camp. Hello. 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 So I'm going to put a C. I'm going to rename this as well. Camping camp idol. There we go. Right, so we've got camping camp hello and camping camp idol. So if any of you guys have ideas for lines that Lucien could say around a campfire, please do let me know, and we'll see if we can add them in. Always love your suggestions, especially when they're puntastic. Ah, I love a good campfire, don't you? And that doesn't actually need any conditions, because we've added them all. Hey, Tiny Lucien. So we'll just have random. It's got to be random, and it's got hours till resets 24. We'll have a little song here for Lucien to hum. Campfires burning, campfires burning. Campfires burning, campfires burning. Little Easter egg there. Yeah, sure. Oh, toasting a sweet roll. That's a great idea. We've got to have that. Now on this line, we need to get random percent because we don't want this to trigger all the time. We want this to be rare. So we're going to say get random percent is less than. Let's go with less than 1. Are you finally going to take all this firewood from me? Yeah, I like that. Oh, so here we could say, do be careful not to burn yourself, won't you? And for that, we're going to say, we're going to reduce the get random percent. We're going to cut it altogether, cut the get random percent, and we're now going to say, what we're going to do is we're going to copy the condition from earlier for get distance. Oh, that's a pain, actually. I don't want to copy this entire stack, but for the player rather than Lucien. We can just do it for Tamriel. This can just be for the Tamriel fire rather than being for both. So we're going to do get disabled. We want the A or B. Something with A or B in it. There is no A or B. Okay. So we want line A. Copy condition. Misc. Idle. Do be careful not to burn yourself, won't you? Paste. So this is saying, make sure it's enabled. I wasn't sure about camping, but a guy wrote me into it. Now, that's a great line, but they make a lean-to that doesn't really seem to involve ropes. So I don't know if that one works very well before. Oh, yeah, a memory about Lucien going camping with his family would be great. Something about catching fireflies. Yeah, maybe? You got charged with waving a firearm. What? Just what? If he's wearing Imperial armor and there's snow and a campfire having said glad you started fire, I thought he was going to pass out from cold. What? Why? What? Just because Imperial armor is so cold? Because of a reference to Lucien the Dragonborn, right? From when he passes out in his Imperial armor. Yeah, I'm sure we can do something with that. Right, do be careful not to burn yourself, won't you? So that is get disabled. Make sure that that reference is enabled. So we are near the Tamriel, and we need to, the Tamriel campfire is enabled. And then we need to do get distance to the Tamriel campfire, which is that one there. And this now is going to be run on the player. So if the player is getting close to the campfire, so within two... hang on. There's no guarantee that the map marker necessarily aligns with the campfire marker. This is the issue. Oh, posture check. Thank you, Valk. So... we're going to have to set the radius a bit narrower. It's tricky. It's really tricky. How am I going to set this one up? Because I cannot do a distance check to the fire itself. I was forgetting that the fire is not the same thing as the map marker. They're not near each other, so I can't check if the player is actually running near the fire. But we can assume that doing a 500 check should at least cover the fire, so that should help at least. Some fun would come along. I don't know if we can necessarily do anything with that. Do be careful not to step in the fire, won't you? So for that we're going to do check if the player is running. So if the player is running and is close to the Tamriel campfire, which is enabled, then Lucien will say, do be careful not to step in the fire, won't you? Cool, that makes sense. No, you spelt board right. You spelt board correctly. Well done, Shiva. There's nothing quite like reading by a campfire under the stars. Oh, hello, Petra. Welcome. Welcome. Right, lots of lines to work with here. Lots of ideas. So, these need to be random with a 24-hour reset. This does need a probability check on it now. Because otherwise it'll happen all the time. And we're going to set it to, let's go with 2%. And you get random percent check should be the final condition in the stack to be optimal. Board was part of the pun. What? I don't get it. I don't understand. Right, do be careful not to step in the fire, won't you? We've got a hello. So, there's nothing like reading by a campfire under the stars. I like that line. So that's fine. We'll just leave that at that. And of course, under the stars means it has to be nighttime. So we want get current game time. Or is there just an is night condition check? I bet there is. No, is day. Is sun up? Get is night. No, there isn't one. Okay, right. Get current game time. Get current time. That's it. Get current time is greater than or equal to. Let's play it safe and go with 10 o'clock. To allow for people having mods that might adjust the hour with the seasons, which they always do exist. Let's go with 4, less than 4 o'clock in the morning. No, we can't have and, that's got to be or. Get current game time is greater than 22 or less than. As in board of hardwood. I think that's possibly scraping the bottom of the barrel on the puns there. I think that one's a bit of a leap. But I did enjoy that link you put there. Very silly. Right. So we've got that. Got that. Sorry, I completely missed your thing about past tense, May. That is terrible. That is dire. Right, so. Nuna's line about Imperial armor. I am glad you started this campfire. I thought I was going to pass out from the cold. So we want is snowing. Get equipped. Armor Imperial? Armor Imperial Cuirass. There we go. Equals 1. Job done. Job's a good one. And I'll have a line about sweet rolls. I wonder what happens if you try to toast a sweet roll. For which we want to make sure that the player or Lucien has a sweet roll. So get item count. Food sweet roll. There we go. Food sweet roll has to be greater than or equal to 1 for Lucien, or has to be greater or equal to 1 for the player. I don't think I can't. I think the whole it's got to specifically be about campfires. Really, I think trying to make it about wood is just a bit step too far in relevance. Oh, I've heard that, May. That's Terry Pratchett, and I am a huge fan of Terry Pratchett. Whether or not you've intentionally taken a line from Terry Pratchett or you've both heard it from the same source or whatever, I don't know. But that is an amazing line. And I'm absolutely putting that in there as a tribute to Sir Terry, if nothing else. Right. Yeah, it's a bit more pleasant than the whole mort flesh thing we were doing. Right. Build a man a fire, and he'll be warm for an evening. Terry Pratchett's a huge source of inspiration for me. I learnt so much about writing and comedy from him. Not in person, obviously. I've never met him. Would have loved to have met him. Would have absolutely loved that, but didn't. But his writing, his books are incredible. Set a man on fire and he'll be warm for the rest of his life. And for that, we're going to check that it's evening. So I'm going to copy and paste the conditions from there. But we're going to set that to evening now. So when does evening start? I guess evening starts around 6. Let's go with 6. And it's no longer evening at midnight. So we don't need that. So long as the time's greater than 6, that line makes sense. So let's save there. Ah, thanks for the bits, Nuna. Oh, that's awesome, Czech. What stories did he tell you? Any highlights to share? Sorry, I don't know whether to call you Czech or Morticia. Because Czech comes first, I keep going Czech, but Morticia's probably more of an actual name. I don't know. What would you prefer? Would you prefer to be called Czech or Morticia? Or would you like me to say Czech Morticia the whole time? Every time? Right. More lines, more lines. So let's park this one for now. And we're going to do another set of lines to do with making camp. So J.R. Lucien CC camping. Oh, there we go. Ghost stories around the fire. Yes, I would definitely like to do that. Hello, Sacrilegious. Yes, I am working on the patch for campfire. Exactly. Camping, not campfire. Campfire is the mod by Chexo that I'm a huge fan of. But camping is the Creation Club file, which works with Campfire by Chexo. It works with Frostfall and everything. But yes, Camping is what I'm currently working on, which is the Creation Club file. In my quest to set up interactions for all the Creation Club stuff. That was Camping Camp. Camping. Yes, Ghosty, you are the best ghost story. Once there was a Twitch viewer called Madam Ghosty. The end. Camping. Oh, I can just call it JRCC Camping. That's fine, probably. Right, so we can have an idle dialogue here. It's getting late. Do you think we ought to make camp? Let's paste those conditions again. Make sure the time is greater than or equal to 20. 21. Nah, 20. That's fine. Actually, and we'll also say or... And we'll say less than 1 a.m. Oh, that's cool. What kind of map mod? Pretty intense. I like that, May. And if this was camping with tents, I would use it. But it's camping with a lean-to, which makes it a bit difficult. Oh, yeah, no, my tutorial series will cover all of that. It'll cover our complete custom follower framework. So I will definitely show you exactly how to make a script to make your follower wait and how to make them follow. Certainly. But, I can't... Well, I can show you my script for that if you like. Let me just finish off with this line and then I'll show you my implementation and maybe you can compare it to yours and see where you might have gone wrong. Let's just put that there, and then I'll just finish. So we want to get item count now. Get item count on Lucien has to be greater than or equal to 1, and this is for the camping supplies item. So, camping supplies. CC, that's what it'd be called. CC camping supplies. Has to be greater than or equal to 1. Or it has to be greater than or equal to 1 for the player. Now, what we also need to check is that the player hasn't currently made camp. So this might have to only work in... Oh, no, hang on. Oh, it's complicated. It's tricky. Thinking. I need to check that you're not near your current campsite. And that's a nightmare of a condition stack. Okay, I'm going to do this for Tamriel only. Again, because I'm assuming that's where you're going to spend the most time, so this line won't play if you're on Solstheim. Get in world space. Tamriel has to be equal to 1. Oh, hang on, loads more chat. Would I be able to put some of these same lines in response to the campfire mod as well? No, I'm afraid it has to depend directly on one specific file. If I wanted to set it up for campfire, I'd have to start the whole thing again and have it with completely different dependencies. So I'm afraid this one will only work for camping. But I will probably do campfire interactions at some point as well. But that's not what I'm working on today. Does Lucien already have a line about the Headless Horseman in Whiterun? No, he does not. But I would like to add one, and that will go in the main mod, I expect, rather than in this. Could be cool that Lucien thinks he hears something. I like that. Oh, that's a cool idea. Sacrilegious with maps. Oh, see you, Valk. Bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of your day. Right, so we're saying get in world space. World space Tamriel. And I need to make sure that either... Right, okay. Okay. Right. This is complicated condition stack stuff. Quest data. Copy condition. We need the get disabled for the Tamriel condition there. So we need to check that either the Tamriel map marker is disabled or the distance from that marker is sufficiently great that you're not near it. So we want that. We want get distance. We want get distance Tamriel marker. We want to copy that. We want to go back to camping. We want to paste a condition under misc, under idle. We want to pop that in there. So we're saying either the map marker is disabled, and if that's disabled and you're in Tamriel, that means you don't currently have a camp in Tamriel, which means it makes sense to us to make camp. Or you need to be greater than or equal to, let's say, 5,000 away from the campsite. So you need to be a long way away from your campsite, or you need to not have a campsite. You need to be in Tamriel. You need to have the item camping supplies, or the player needs to have the item camping supplies. The time needs to be greater than 20 or less than 1. And you need to be outside, because it doesn't make sense if you're inside. And you need to not be in a city or a settlement. Get location. Get current location. Location has keyword. That's what I want. Location has keyword. And I want settlement. Location. Location type. Here we go. Location type settlement has to equal 0. And location type city also has to equal 0. So, settlement 0, city 0, interior is 0. So the most important thing to start with is the time. The most important thing to start with is that you have the camping item, then the time, then you want to check whether you're currently in an interior, then you want to check whether you're in a settlement or a city. You need to check if you're in Tamriel, and you also need to check if that stuff should be last. Okay, cool, I'm happy with that stack. Set that to random, set 24, and of course we also need a random percent to reduce the probability of this. So get random percent for this has to be less than 1. And between all these conditions, I think we're sorted. Ooh. Right, missed stuff again. Yeah, sorry, Ladybugs are the very act of doing it for Creation Club. I know does make it SE only, but I think it's a really good thing to do to cover this canon official DLC that no other mods are covering. I think is a really cool thing for Lucien to have. So I'm quite keen on pushing this for a little bit, just for the near future, just for the next few weeks and stuff. I'm not permanently doing SE only stuff, but just at the moment, I'm on a little run of Creation Club stuff. One cell is 4096 by 4096 units, so 5,000 is more than one cell away. Could well be. Could very well be. Right. Get random percent is less than there. There we go. Right. So I've set that line up now. So I was going to show you my implementation for the waiting dialogue. So let's go. If you're still there. Who was it who was asking? Sorry, I get confused. Lord of all Frogs was asking. If you're still here, Lord of all Frogs, I will now show you my scripting for the waiting dialogue. Yes, hello. Right, so we've got player dialogue. we've got this line, JR Lucien follower wait, which is a line that says wait here. And I've got a bunch of different responses, all with scripts attached for the different things you can say. So if we go down here, I call a script. I do get owning quest as Lucien controller. So that means I've set up a property by doing this. By saying get owning quest as Lucien controller, I mean I'm selecting the Lucien controller script that is attached to this quest. So I'm calling a function from another script, and I'm calling the follower wait function, which you can find in the Lucien controller script, which is attached to this quest. So this is how you call a function in another script, by doing it like this. Alternatively, you can define a property in order to define this script that you can call as well, which I can show you how to do separately if you'd like to do that. But the best way is to have your dialogue wait line in the same quest as your follower controller script. So this is the Lucien controller script, is where we'll find this follower wait function. So if we go out and we go into Lucien controller now, which is where I define all these functions. Sorry, that's the properties. Edit source. Here we go. Right. So we're going to look for the wait function. Here we are. Function follower wait. And I go actor follower actor equals follower alias dot get actor ref. So that means I'm getting the alias of Lucien. Getting the reference, the actor reference of the whoever's in the reference alias, which is for the follower, which is Lucien, which he's placed into when he's following you. And then we set the actor value waiting for player to 1. That's literally all you do, is you set that actor value for 1, and he will then wait. So when you do that, so he'll set it to wait. I believe we then got some packages that will then handle that, but this is the trick, to set that actor value to 1, and that's all my script does for setting Lucien to wait. And I also have underneath here, I have the option of setting an objective to be displayed to help you find Lucien again. So this is the objective that shows up saying Lucien Flavius is waiting for you. And I have here a stage check to make sure that once he's given you the resonance sphere, which you can use to track him, if I give him that, if he's given you that, you no longer need an objective to show up when he's waiting for you, because you can just use the resonance sphere. So this objective will only show up if he hasn't yet given you his resonance sphere. And that's all there is to it. So then the follow script, on the other hand, is similarly called by follow dialog, the follow me line. And that again gets the actor reference from the alias. And it sets that actor value waiting for player that was 1. It now sets it to 0. And sets the objective displayed. So then that will clear that objective if it's displayed. So then that objective will disappear, will say completed. And the follower actor .evaluate package forces Lucien to reevaluate his current package stack. So he will check again to see whether he can follow you. So it should force him to immediately start following you. I hope that makes sense and is useful. I'm not sure what your implementation was. Feel free to send me a screenshot on the Discord if you want me to have a look at it later after the stream so I can compare. But that's how I'm doing it here. And I'll just check the packages that I give to Lucien here. Under my quest aliases. To see, it's been a long time since I set this up, so I can't instantly remember how this works, but here we are, JR Lucien follower package. If we open this up now, what are the conditions on this? So we've got 2 procedures here. This is using the standard follower package template. So if you are using a follow package which uses the follower package template, which you should be using, you should be using that template. If you're using a follower package that uses that template, then its system of following, this follow procedure, has a wait procedure in there. And if we actually open the follower package template to see how this behaves, you've got procedure wait, which is completely different to what I was expecting. So there you go. That's completely surprising. I was expecting this to have some kind of condition to check that variable that is waiting condition. Here we are. Here we go. Look, here's the follow condition. So this is the procedure that tells him to walk to the player And that has a check for waiting for player equals 0. So if waiting for player were equal to 1, then this wouldn't execute, which would mean he wouldn't follow you. So there you go, that's how this works. So this package will only run if you've got waiting for player equals 0. So it should, if you're importing from this template, it should be enough just to set that active value to 1 and you're all sorted. Cool. So I'm going to close all this down now and return to the dialogue. I hope that was useful. I rushed through it quite quickly. I will go through it in slower detail in my Lucien Creator Follower Mod tutorial series on YouTube when I get around to doing the next episode of that. Well, it'll be several episodes down the line probably before we talk about that. But yeah, hope that helped. Right. Onwards then. Back into our camping dialogue. It's getting late. Do you think we ought to make camp? Makes sense. Boom, 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 boom. We'll have another line, I think, for him to complain. This can be a hello, actually. To complain about having to carry it. So we'll move that to this topic. Boom, there we go. Why do I have to carry the camping supplies? So we're now going to say that if he is carrying it and the player is currently carrying no camping supplies, that's going to be and we're no longer interested in the rest of the conditions. But we will have a get random % to reduce the probability of this line, because this is one of those lines that could get annoying if it plays too often. So I'm going to set that down to 30%. So only around a third of the time will it be available from the random stack. Cool! Like I say, ping me on Discord under the mod making channel if you've got any specific questions about how I did that, because I'd be very happy to go over it again with you. Oh, Petra says hydrate. Right. So, what now? More lines, more dialogue. Sweet, sweet dialogue. Cool. Let's have a look then. So, camping. What does my mug say? My mug says best teacher. For I'm doing you a learn. And I'm the best out of all the teachers who are currently talking about Lucien on Twitch right now. I can guarantee you, of all the people teaching you how Lucien is made on Twitch, I am the best teacher. And I've also got the nicest hair, and I'm the tallest. All these things are vacuously true. Glad you enjoy, Zooey. Am I pronouncing that right? Zooey? I think that's right. Right, we need more lines. Wait, how tall am I? I'm 5'10", I think? I think I'm 5'10". Been a while since I last measured myself. I think I'm 5'10". I am one Joseph high, exactly. Shiva's 6 foot. You're taller than me, Shiva. Tall. So tall. Right. 10 out of 10 will come back for another lesson. Good! I'm glad. Hello, by the way, ZX3Trons. Welcome to the stream. I'm delighted you're finding this useful and enjoyable. Right. Thanks, Nuna. Thanks for the bits. Very kind. She was one Nord tall, exactly. Right, so. It'd be good if he could tell spooky stories around the campfire, couldn't it? Nuna's only 5 foot. A small bean. A spooky story around the campfire would be good, but do I know any spooky stories? And am I going to just have to write a spooky story on the spot right here? because that's going to be tricky. But we can try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. You can help me write it. Take some source material from different books in Skyrim. Could do. Or I can make it up. I don't know. Let's think of it. Nighttime. Mandor Cadcardor. Brilliant. Yeah, that'd be a great one. Nighttime by a campfire. Fancy a spooky story? Nope, that's not what we want. Mothman lamp. Oh, thanks for the bits, May. Oh, Tiny Lucien grabbing the mouse again. Off you go. Right, so we are going to get current time, because it's going to be late. It's going to be nighttime for the spook. Get current time has to be greater than or equal to 9 o'clock. And we'll have less than 2 a.m. There once was a selfish man who stole my sweet roll at the end. I love it. I love it. Cool. Right, so nighttime by a campfire. So we're going to set up some reactions now to that. So you can respond yes or no. Ah, not V. Spooky story B1. Yes, please. Or alternatively, camping camp spooky story B2. No thanks. Not now, thanks. Spooky Story B1. And we've got to add link to Spooky Story B2. So you've got those two options set up now, so you can respond to him. This can only play once every 24 hours. It's going to be a random thing. Less than or 1%? 1%? This is a greeting, so when you talk to him, that's cute, Nuna. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll set this to being less than 10%. And set it to not repeat. So to do that, we're going to need a script. That's what we're going to need. And if we're going to do scripts, we're going to need to give it a unique ID. So I'm going to briefly pop you back onto camera while I find my list of IDs. So let's have a look. It'll be under Excel. Going over your own story is definitely valid. Right. This is not what I wanted. Ah, the IDs. Here we are. The real scary story was the friends we made along the way. Camping. So the ID for this is going to be JR8. Here we go. So we're going to go, I'm going to put you back onto screen. Screen with camera. And we're going to go, ooh, messages, hang on. I've just noticed the instrument case in the back. Joseph, you play an instrument. I have been attempting over the last many years, every now and again, to learn the guitar. I am not very good at it. I cannot play very well at all. But I'm learning very, very slowly to do it. So yes, that's what you can see behind me is my guitar. And I am sort of okay at the piano. I can play some things on the piano. And I sing. La. Hello, yellow eager cat. The weather today is cloudy, and it was raining earlier, but now, yeah, it's sort of cloudy now, just sort of overcast evening. Is it acoustic? It is indeed acoustic. It is an acoustic guitar. Ooh. We're already on to prefix JR9 here, so my records are obviously wrong. Let's go JR10 then. Thumed plays air guitar. Good for you, Thumed. Down now 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 down 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 beady 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 bee. Cool. JR10. I'm confused myself though, so I'm just gonna put myself back onto camera while I check. Let's waste time chasing cars around our heads. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we're told before you grow too old? Can't remember the lyrics. Imagine a garden just bursting into life. There we go. Yeah, JR10 is definitely the right one. I made a proper record of that now. Yeah, that, before we get too old. So, this is only going to play the once. Lucien fell over again. Oh, he's hanging onto the bottom of the window. Right. So, we're going to say, get owning quest dot set stage 10. We'll have another one for when it's done. Can Lucien sing the Dragonborn a lullaby? I mean, probably. What are we doing to Lucien today? Today we're giving him interactions with the camping creation club file. Oh, there was a gling. Thank you for the follow, Luap1 Paul. Welcome to the community. You should visit the Bard's College in Solitude. They'll send you to a dungeon to retrieve a poem. It'll be horrible and scary. JR Lucien CC camping. And that's got to be less than 10. Ooh, and of course, I haven't set the 0 stage. We need the 0 stage. That's our startup stage. Ba-dee-dee-dee-doo. Da-da-da-doo-da. Thanks, Mads. Glad you enjoyed it. Right, so, spooky story. Yes, please. Alright then. Let's see what I can remember. And this is going to go get owning quest dot set stage 20, which is going to trigger the spooky story scene. Whereas alternatively, not now, thanks. Oh, thanks for the bit, May? Gling gling! Love the gling gling. You crawled through a dungeon, that makes you a bard. Yes, exactly. Right, so, not now, thanks. Oh, that's a pity. What a waste of a good campfire. We'll have a touch of sadness there. Bum 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 bum. Ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum dum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum. Was there something else then? Because of course this will lead straight into all the other dialogue. And this is going to be a goodbye because it's going to end the conversation and now we're going to start a scene. Oh yay, more bits! Thank you! Thanks, May. Shiva did share a funny in the steaming chat. Oh, the streaming chat on the Discord. Let's have a look. Do 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 da 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 da. It ain't loading.
Oh.
A magical horse on the roof. That is
Okay.
absolutely a Clive thing to do. I love it. Oh, Skyrim. Clive is, however, a perfectly normal horse, so I don't know what the implication is there. Right, anyway. No, this is Camping CC, the Creation Club camping file, which is an entirely different thing to the campfire mod. They're entirely different. I can either make the mod work with one or the other, but not both. So I'll probably do a separate campfire patch another time in order to make interactions with the stuff. But at the moment, I'm on a run over several weeks of doing Creation Club interactions because I think it's a nice thing to do. So boom, boom, boom. So now we need to create the scene. Yeah, exactly. JR Lucien CC Camping Camp. And this is spooky. Have a nice walk, Valen. Thanks for joining. It's been great to have you on the stream. Yes, that logical statement is correct, Sacrilegious. They are entirely different things. Right, so we created this scene and we need... Oh, of course we need to put Lucien into an alias in order to make him function in this scene. See you, check. Have a nice shower. Or Mort. Mort, that was it, wasn't it? Mort. Alias name. Lucien. Alias. Unique actor. It's JR Lucien. And of course we want to toggle on all these various flags to make it definitely fill. Give it a minute to open up again. We want optional. We want allow reuse and quest, allow dead, allow disabled, allow destroyed, and it won't let you check allow reserved. But if you click on it and you go Control and Shift and R, then it'll let you toggle it on anyway, even though it grayed that out, which is an important thing to make sure this alias will always fill. Oh, right. So we're now going to go to... We've got the alias there, so it should now work. If we add the actor, JR Lucien... Oh, and I spelt it wrong. That's going to annoy me. Got to fix that. Oh, crikey. See you, Shiva. Fingers crossed. Hope everything's all right. A note about Lucien in the Thalmor Embassy. Why would the Thalmor be interested in Lucien? I wouldn't have thought he'd be of any interest at all to them. He's just a scholar. Right, so our first... We're going to write this spooky story now, off the top of my head, with exactly 0 planning. So, what's this going to be? Spooky story. Once upon a time, I can't believe I'm trying to write a story live on Twitch. This is a terrible idea. Once upon a time, there was a little sausage called Baldric. No, we're not having that. Dramatic recreation of the first time Lucien fought a dragon with the player. I mean, it's got to be spooky. Please work in man door, hand hook, car door somehow, right? Once upon a time, a cunning plan. Mr. Blackadder, it's time to wake up. Once upon a time. The little sausage. Good. We're on the same wavelength. Great minds. Are you writing this story as a limerick? Well, it's not going to be much of a spooky story, was there? Definitely rewatch Blackadder. It's very good. Once upon a time, there was a young sausage. There was once a young man. A young Khajiit? A young Khajiit. Young Khajiit named... What's it going to be named? Named Jacuzzi. No, that's no good. Jakalar. Once upon a time... Jacuzzi. I'll bear that in mind for a future thing. Once upon a time, there was a young Khajiit named Jakalar. He was an inquisitive little kitten, always dashing off on some adventure or another. One day, as he often did, he strayed too far. One day, when they were traveling, when their caravan... good evening, Sam! One evening when their caravan was traveling through the deep, dark woods. Jakalar, as he often did, strayed too far from his mother. Not when it was travelling. One day, when he and his family were camping in the deep, dark woods, Jakalar, as he often did, strayed too far from his mother. And what happened then? I don't know, because I'm making it up as I go along. What happened when he strayed too far from his mother? Don't know. Let's save, so we don't lose the progress we've got so far, because scenes do have a habit of crashing. What do you think, Tiny Lucien? What happened? Spiders. Slodes. Spider slodes. Slode spiders. And then man door, hand hook, car door. Exactly. I may have to finish this off stream because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to write on stream. But Kayla, as he often did, strayed too far from his mother. While he was wandering, he did not meet Bigfoot. Oh, okay. I think I know where I'm going to go with this. While he was wandering, he happened to stumble across a beautiful, shiny gold coin. Aha! Thought Jakayla. This is quite the treasure. So he picked it up and turned to head back to his mother. But suddenly, Jakayla realized he had no idea where he was. These woods. Sorry, phone. Hopefully someone else will get that. No, okay, bear with me a second. I'll just pop you onto break screen and I will be right back. Right, I'm back. Hello. So, screen camera. Boom, 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 boom. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. I can never find it. Got it. Right, so these woods were totally unfamiliar. Jakayla didn't remember any of this. And that's when the whispering started. Oh, yay! Thanks for the bits, Vickle! That's very generous of you. Thank you so much. Awfully kind. Whispering started softly at first. Distant voices murmuring in the night. Jakayla was pleased at first. Perhaps this was... he was nearer to his family than he thought. So he followed the sounds. But strangely, as he walked, as much as he walked, as far as he walked, they never seemed to get any closer. And we've gone over the character limit there, so I'm going to separate that out into another line. This is going to take a lot of recording. They never seemed to get any closer. Hello? He called. Not geek-hacked. There we go. He called. But no one called back. All he heard was the whispering. Too soft to make out the words. behind him. A twig snapped. But when he span around... Span or spun? Spun or span? What do we think? I think span. No one was there. Again, a leaf. Then a leaf crunched. Oh, there goes Tiny Lucien. A leaf crunch. But again, when he looked, nothing. Spun is the past tense of spin. It's true. Let's just Google it. Spun around or span around. Span is an older, strong past tense form of spin. Span is an archaic, simple past tense form of spin. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I like the sound of span more, but we'll go with spun. Down you pop. Spun around. No one was there. And then a growl. Welcome back, Mort. Check, Morticia. Mort. I can't do it. Mort is what you told me to call you. So welcome back, Mort. And then a growl. Deep and sinister. Breath. Right on the back of his neck. This time he didn't turn around. He just ran. Fast as his little paws would carry him. What do we call him? Jakalar sprinted through the night. And all the while, that rasping breath followed him. Scrabbling. Breath followed him, scrabbling. Over the undergrowth. No, I don't like that. Drawing nearer and nearer. No militias. No one overthrowing the south. Thank you very much. And then... disaster. Jakalar's foot caught on a tree root and he fell, crunching down onto the forest floor. we're going to save again. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's crashed. I've lost it all. I've lost the story. This is the creation kit for you. We'll have to try and remember it and rewrite it. I knew that would happen. Arrgh. I'll try and remember it. Yeah, F indeed. It's probably because I tried to put too many lines of dialogue in the... Oh, thanks for the gling, May. Yeah, maybe do it in Notepad. That's a good shout. Stable or horse bolted very much, yeah. Oh, dear. Oh, Lucien, what are you doing? No, I need that. Give it back. So Lucien doesn't want us to have Notepad. Can I have it back, please? Can you please? Can we have the windows back? Help. I can't get it back. Let's reopen it. He doesn't want to know about the scary story. Right. Okay. Let's open it up. Oh, we'd already opened it. Right. Let's see how much I did manage to save. Probably only the first couple of lines. Okay. I've lost so much of the story. That's so annoying. Right, we're going to save this. Right. Cool. Hydrate before you dehydrate. Right. Strayed too far from his mother. What happened then? Right. Okay. So, Sovereign did stray too far. Well, he was wandering in the woods. Posture check. Thank you, Luna May. While he was wandering in the woods, he happened to stumble across a shiny gold coin. Aha. Jakalar thought. A fine treasure indeed. And he picked it up and popped it in his pocket. No, no, absolutely not. As he picked it up, popped it in his pocket, and turned to head back to his mother. But suddenly, Jakalar realized... Hello, May! Welcome to the stream! We're writing a scary story for Lucien to tell around a campfire. Suddenly, Jakalar realized he didn't know where he was. Yeah, so we wrote a story and the creation kit crashed and we lost it all, so we're rewriting it. The forest, and then we're redoing it in Notepad at Nuna's suggestion, which is very clever. Very good idea. He didn't remember these woods at all. Oh, you're just holding on to it. That's okay. You can hold on to it. I don't know anything about character creation overhaul, but I'm sure the chat can advise. He looked around him, hoping for something familiar. A tree he recognized. Or a tree he recognized. Or some feature in the bracken to jog his memory. But there was nothing. And that was when the whispering started. Softly at first. Distant voices murmuring in the night. Too quiet to make out the words. At first, Kayla was filled with hope. Perhaps his family weren't as far away as he thought. So he walked towards the sound. So he walked towards the sound. But as far... So he headed towards the sound, but as far as he walked, it didn't seem to get any closer. Please turn word wrap on. Is that a thing? I don't know. Ah, that's helpful. Thank you, Ninja. But as far as he walked, it didn't seem to get any closer. I never used Notepad. You say that, in English they're spelt with S's. And I'm, in the UK they're spelt with an S. So I do by instinct write this in UK English where we have S's, but you're right. In American, they're spelled with Z's, and the Skyrim spelling convention is to use the American version. So you're correct. I should correct those to your way of spelling it. But I think it's wrong. Yeah, it's true. I often have this problem, having to change my spelling to suit you guys, but got to go with the flow. Right. As far as he walked, it didn't seem to get any closer. So what happened then? He was following the whispering, and then, behind him, a twig snapped. He spun around. Nothing was there. Then a leaf crunched. He turned again, but again, nothing. And then behind him, and then came a growl. Rasping breath right on the back of his neck.
This actually takes me back to English classes where we absolutely couldn't use American English spelling because the teacher was marked it wrong for some reason. I never understood why. It's not wrong. Well, I think it's wrong. But technically it's not wrong. It's just different. It's alternative spelling. But it is wrong. Teachers do be like that. It be like that sometimes. Right on the back of his neck. This time he didn't turn around. This time I'm going to put in a Jacala again. This time Jacala. It's not wrong, but it is wrong. Yeah. He just ran. As fast as his little paws could carry him, he sprinted. I wish that too, Mads. I don't know why you have to do it differently. He sprinted through the night. And all the while, that rasping breath was right behind him. Skittering across the forest floor. Well, that's interesting, Trons, but what about this Zs versus S's? That's no shorter. It's no shorter to write an S rather than a Z, or a Z rather than an S. And also Z rather than Z. What's going on with that? Why do you say Z? It's obviously Z. Yes, a Z is a Z. This is a Z. But you say Z. Oh my god, it's Z. X, Y, Z. What are you doing? It's X, Y, Z. Skittering, that rasping breath was right behind him, skittering across the forest floor. Unseen claws skittering across the forest floor. A looming sense of terrible hunger. Snapping. Not snapping. Closing on him as he fled. Blue! Go with blue! Then, disaster! His foot caught on a tree root and he fell face first. Onto the face first. Into the undergrowth. And surely it was on him. It was on him. He closed his eyes tight and waited for the end. And waited. And waited. After a while, he opened an eye, and then another. No nightmare beast stood over him, but a man. Bum bum bum. Jakalar would never remember his face. But only those eyes. Cold and empty. As the void beyond the stars. He said not a word, but reached out a pale hand. And Jakalar, and somehow Jakalar knew what he wanted. He reached into his pocket and took out the coin. The man's hand closed around it, and his touch was Wait, is there puns going on in the chat? I don't see a problem with either pronunciation. That is dire and doesn't make sense in British English. I don't see a problem with either pronunciation. And his touch was living death. And then he was gone. No, and then a hand fell upon Jakalar's shoulder. And he turned to look into the worried face of his mother. Jakalar, kitten, where have you been? She cried. We have been searching for hours and hours. We have searching for hours. This one, no, we. What would they say for third person? These ones? This one? Would they just say we? Because you say this one has been searching. Would they just say we have been searching for hours? What do you think? Lore buffs in the chat? No, this one would be specific for her, but we're saying for the group, the family have been collectively searching. These ones, I don't like the sound of these ones though. We'll just go with this one has. Oh, Khajiit have. Khajiit have. I like that then. Khajiit have been searching for hours.
Hey, Lutra, thanks for dropping by. Hope work's going okay. This one was Jacala began. But when he looked for the man, he was gone. As his words ran dry, Jacala took his mother's hand and they walked back towards their campfire. And the night watched them go. Ta-da! I've thrown together a spooky story for you in like 10 minutes. We'll probably edit this while it's not when I'm off stream. But a story. It's done. That's going to take ages to record. That's going to be hundreds of lines. Probably shouldn't have written it so long. But there you go. Right. Let's try and implement this then. Without the creation kit crashing. I'll try and break it up into chunks. You're drawing Jacala fan art, or you would draw Jacala fan art. Jacala, he's the new star of our story. Jacala, as he often did, strayed too far from his mother. While he was wandering into the... Aha, Jacala thought. A fine treasure indeed. Lucien will, of course, do all the Khajiit voices. Jacala, follower when. Thanks, Samantha. It's okay for what I can throw together in half an hour on a stream. I've never written anything live while being watched before. Right, we're going to park it there. Save that. Yes, not crashed. Good. Right, we're going to add a new phase now for the next bunch of dialogue, I think. That'll be a good way to break this up. Jacala shall be the follower you make while watching my YouTube tutorial series. Well, I can't wait. And that was when the whispering started. Have you thought to do a bigger story told by Lucien with continuation like Inigo and Velia have? What exactly do you mean by that? A story about his past? Oh, hello, Rogue Nebula. Welcome to the stream. That's so lovely of you to say. Thank you so much for dropping by. That's really nice. Thanks. I'm really glad you're enjoying Lucien.
Bom, 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 bom. You're right, there aren't that many custom voiced Argonian followers. The problem, I think, with an Argonian is their voices are like this, which is fine for you to do on a very one-off basis. You know, you can do a voice like that for not very long. But as soon as you start trying to do that for hundreds of lines, you run into trouble and your vocal cords are going to give up. You're going to do yourself some serious damage. So you could do an Argonian that talks like a normal person. But, which I know is what at least one mod that's being worked on is doing. But it will be up to you how you'd want to come across that. But I would hate for you to hurt your vocal cords trying to do an Arconian voice at great length. Oh, we've missed an A there. Save again. Good. This is going to end up being our biggest Creation Club interaction file yet, just because of this story. A tale he tells every night. That would be a lot of stories. That sounds like quite a lot of effort to implement. Could leave it only half told on a cliffhanger and Lucien gets scared by a sudden twig snapping from the fire and he's so flustered he can't finish it. No, we've written this whole story now. He's going to tell it all in one go. It'll be the best possible delivery. Want to try and creep some players out. He says Jakayla. Oh, that would be a plot twist indeed. We're running out of time on the stream and I haven't even started recording. We're going to have to break this one up into two, at least. Do 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 do. What do you mean meme in the stream channel on Discord? Oh, I see. You've put a meme in the stream channel on Discord. This is very silly. I like it. Oh dear. Right, anyway. The man's hand closed on it, and his touch was living death. Welcome back, Ninja. Did you miss the story? How much of the story did you see? Oh, posture check. Thank you, Ladybug's art. How often do I stream? I stream several times throughout the week, generally. But I stream every Thursday from 5 till 8 doing these Creation Kit modding streams. That's 5 till 8 BST, which is UK time. I don't know what time that is wherever you are in the world, but it's on my screen, on my stream schedule. If you look on my channel, there should be the schedule there and you'll see it there. But yes, these regular Lucien modding streams, Creation Kit modding workshops, will be 5 till 8 every week on Thursdays. But otherwise, I will stream, I try to play some games throughout the week. Will Lucien finish the story later if he or the player are attacked? Oh, BST there as well. Great. Greetings, fellow Brit. No. As it stands, the way we've implemented it, no, he wouldn't finish the story later if he or the player were attacked. I'd have to change the implementation for that. Ooh, I hear a friend. Ray? Come on. Come say hi to everyone. Here she is. Friend. This is Jacayla. No, this is Gray. Real life inspiration for Jacayla. And she has owed some treats from you guys. You've redeemed treat points. She holds my hand. I love her too. It's very sweet. Right, let's get those treats. Look! So, can you see from there? She's down there, so look. This one is from Ninja. Where are you gonna go? Let's pop it there. These two are from May. And this one is from Nuna. Oh, and the last one is from Macon. Treats for Gray. Oh, she went blurry there. We lost focus, but I hope you could see. There we go. And I'll just mark all of those. Thanks, guys, for the points. Gray's very happy now. We do love her. Yeah, they're all gone. Sorry. All gone. Right. Let's finish this off in the last 5 minutes. Khajiit have been searching for hours. This one was with Jacayla began, but when he looked for the man, he were gone. He were gone. As his words ran dry. New star, she's always been the star of the stream. Jacayla took his mother's hand and they walked back towards the campfire, and the knight watched them go. Cool, job done. Right, so I am out of time now. That is the end of the stream, because we will come back to this time next week, next Thursday. I'll carry on working on this patch. We'll try and write some more dialogue, record some more stuff. Probably going to end up becoming a 3-week jobby with that many lines to record. But yeah, going to record all of this. It's going to be great. Looking forward to doing it. So do tune in then. In the meantime, no, there won't be more spooky stories. I think we'll just have the one spooky story in this patch. But in the meantime, I mentioned this at the start of the stream. I'm going to mention it again. I have just revamped my Patreon, which is available. There is a link underneath the stream to that. And otherwise, it is, well, it's still sort of in the process of being revamped, but I've just added a bunch of extra tiers and perks and things for you guys to check out at different levels. And I'm just popping a link in the chat as well. If you want to have a look, I would really, please never feel obliged in any way to support me financially, because I will keep doing this for free because it's what I love doing and it's great. And thank you all so much for actually enjoying it and listening to what I'm saying and watching my stuff. But yes, please never feel obliged to support me financially. But if you did ever want to feel if you were ever feeling super generous and wanted to tip me a bit, there is a Patreon there for you guys to check out. It has, yeah, like I say, it's got a whole bunch of different tiers. It's got a whole bunch of different rewards. I will record custom names for you if you've ever wanted to request a name for Lucien to call you in game. On the $10 tier, there's that. There's a bunch of early access stuff I'm doing. I'm doing early access to my videos. Will be going on there. Early access to short stories that I write. There is a... you'll get to vote in polls to decide what I work on next for Lucien and my other stuff. There are some patron-only Q&A sessions that I'm going to be running once a month. They're going to be like sort of private streams just for you guys. I think at the $20 tier. So that's going to be there where you can ask me whatever you want, and I will do my best to answer. Can coach you on modding or writing or whatever. And then there's some stuff for the crazy high tiers, you know, that I don't think anyone's ever actually going to get. But, you know, they're there in case anyone ever wanted to. Where I think I'll even offer you one-to-one tuition if you want, at $100. But, you know, that's crazy. No one's ever going to actually do that. But, yes, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. So do check out the Patreon if you're feeling generous at any point. And I'd really appreciate that. Otherwise, that's all from me for the evening. I will probably do another stream before next Thursday because I really want to try Ark, because I've just got Ark Survival Evolved for free off the Epic Games Store. Pick that up. So I'd really like to give that a try. I've got some fun ideas for streams that I'd like to do for that. But yeah, probably do that at some point, maybe over the weekend, maybe Monday or something. We'll see. Otherwise, next Tuesday is the Season 1 finale of Lucien the Dragonborn. It's all going down. It'll be very exciting. I'm looking forward to doing that. It's going to be a blast. I've got loads of stuff planned for it. Really looking forward to showing you how Season 1's arc ends, and then I can get started on Season 2. So yeah, that's next Tuesday at 8 PM BST, where we'll be premiering it live as usual, so do tune in for that. It's going to be fun. Yeah. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you all next time. If you haven't followed the channel, do follow the channel. Rogue Nebula or anyone else who's new today, if you haven't followed the channel yet, do follow it, because then you'll get notified next time I stream, which is always good, I think, because then you won't miss it. But yeah, otherwise, have a great rest of your day wherever you are, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye-bye!